So I think anybody who is looking to make switch from typical audit, tax, FP&A role, he's a chartered accountant, to a niche finance domain, investment banking, private equity, venture capital, equity research, all the niche finance profiles, from general audit, tax, transfer pricing, FP&A, management trainee, financial analyst profiles, has to keep only one thing in mind. There are two ways to do it. First is with proof of work, second is without proof of work. Any employer who is looking to hire folks is looking at you and observing this fact whether you would fit into that organization, whether you will be able to manage the workload or manage the kind of work that will come in that organization, whether you will be able to tackle that. And for that, it's important for him to understand whether you are capable to perform that work. And that is why uh, people look for folks who are already in that field and not uh, outside of that field. Like they won't typically go and look for folks outside finance domain to hire in finance. But it's not like they never hire. In 50% of the cases, they always hire for new folks because they come at a cheaper cost. Typically companies can't attract uh, experienced talent, so there is an gap in the market where non-finance professionals are hired, and this is an opportunity that you can capture on. Second thing, how do you get it? So with proof of work, if you are in transfer pricing or taxation or auditing, you have no way to show that you have done something in finance. Now, how do you do it? You first of all prepare, say, a one pager, or start publishing things online. Prepare a one pager on, say, XYZ company, whichever you like. You like Domino's, prepare a one pager on Jubilant Foods, which is a listed player. uh, you like any other company, just which you may have audited or done taxation for, just make a one pager or a document summarizing your views from a finance perspective. Look at any brokerage research report which is available online, try to prepare in that format. Publish anything, yeah, publish anything interesting that you like online. It just doesn't need to be restricted to even, say, a brokerage report. It can be anything, yeah. Publish your views on how uh, India is growing compared to China, or publish how you think China will outperform US in next decade. Whatever your views are, just start putting it out, do some research and start putting it out. And those will help an employer to judge you, because it's very typical for employers to now look at the LinkedIn profile of the candidates that they are hiring, and if they come across such work, it's more than enough as a proof of work. People don't do this. I don't understand why people don't write on LinkedIn and show what they are capable of and what they can do with 2 3 days of research. That is what you need to do to kickstart your career. Now, without proof of work, or I would say a easier way to go about finding a finance job, is look for opportunities in startups, look for places which are new, which are not so much, which are not branded, right? These places would be uh, much easier to crack in terms of opportunities are considered. I'll say go look at startups which have raised money in last 5 months. You can find a list at websites like Inc 42, N Tracker, Ken. There are other many websites which cover all these startup funding news articles. Just look at the startups which have raised money, reach out to that company, reach out to that founder, reach out to employees of that startup. They would typically have 20 30 folks. They would definitely be hiring for a finance role or a strategy role or founder's office role. These are very dynamic roles which can help as a bridge for you to further move in a big, very big brand. Or maybe if you like the job, like if you like the startup, you can continue in that startup. So these are the ways to do it. uh, how do you sort of uh, build or show energy or show enthusiasm towards these startups, towards these small brands, is much more important than what you already know in terms of your skill set. In terms of skill set, yeah, just read news articles, start reading Livement, or start reading newspapers in general when you're looking for your first or second job, because it plays a critical role, because then you are able to express much more than you would be without reading it. So yeah, I think these are the few tips which I would give to somebody who is looking to make a switch from a general CA role to a specific finance role. Thank you so much.